In a recent video, we had talked about identifying self as matter and energy. Today, we are going to dwell deeper into the 8 layers of self as matter. Why is this important? This is important because when we are trying to identify ourselves as energy, often it is our identification of ourselves as matter that holds us back. So we have to understand these 8 layers, extending all the way from the outside environment to a part of the self as matter, which is actually an intersection between the environment and the physical self, and moving deeper inwards by understanding these layers to identify the layers that are actually the physical person or body that you are, and move even further inwards into the part of the matter that is less tangible, and finally moving towards the part of the matter that intersects with energy, and then the energy. A deep understanding of this will then help us be very, very clear that as energy, we are created with unlimited potential. External to us as an individual is the environment, but let me also tell you that we actually contribute to shaping our own environment. So the environment is not quite independent of us as energy, of you and I as energy, but we shape the environment collectively, and often because we have been shaped to think, or we have been conditioned to think that the environment is something that we cannot change, and as a result we are victims of what happens in our environment. We tend to think that the environment is quite separate from us. It's not actually. Collectively, you and I shape our environment. Now that's the environment. So in other words, the environment is actually inextricably connected to all of us, right? So then moving closer towards the individual self, this is the intersection between the environment and the physical body that is you. Okay, is your possessions, material possessions. What examples of possessions? Things like your clothes, your perfume, your handbags, your expensive watches, shoes, and jewelry. All of these are your possessions. The outer layer, this is the intersection between your environment and your physical self, and this shapes your identity. And understanding that there is or understanding that at the very core you are energy, then how you should think and behave towards possessions. Okay, there are rules. You can have anything that you deserve to have. You have to work hard to attain it. You have to honestly attain whatever possessions that you desire. And the way to feel about it is, I'll give you an example, yeah, why understanding the principle of the universal principle of the energy identity determines how you think about your possessions. So if you want something, you have to work hard to get it. You have to acquire the personality and the character qualities that you need to have in order to acquire this possession. And the way you think and feel about the possession is that when you see someone else having the thing, you cannot feel envy and jealousy, because the energy does not know the difference between somebody else having it and you having it. So if you feel envy is a negative feeling, so you're telling your energy, in other words your subconscious mind, that you don't like that thing because you feel envy, you feel jealousy. That's a negative emotion. Any negative emotion means you don't want it, so you won't have it. So when you want something, you must be willing to work hard at it. You must change your character, you must change your personality, and your emotions around that possession is all positive. I guess you understand what I mean, right? So this possession is something that influence our identity, and because we understand it, we are energy, we understand the universal principle that governs our existence as energy, we must change our thoughts, emotions, character, personality, beliefs around these possessions so that this creates harmony. Yeah, right. Next is label. What is label? Label are to start with, your name, and of course any other titles that you have, the name of your profession, your role, teacher, professor, doctor, or any other dignitary titles. All of those are labels, right? So again, you can have desire to have these labels because it is natural for us as humans to want to be respected. Therefore, we want these labels. We want to be known as an individual. We want to be popular, recognized, so our names are important to us. But again, we must adhere to the universal energy in doing this. In this case, for example, honesty, right? Like if you want to be known as a professor, go get that PhD, do your tenure and earn it from your university. There are so many quack professors these days, and that is antagonistic to the universal principle because you are energy. Okay, right? Some people actually pay to get titles put in front of their names as prefixes, yeah, just to elevate their respectability in society. That it's antagonistic. Yeah, so you have to understand that your energy and you have to act accordingly. So this is what I mean by understanding the layers of yourself and taking it apart and putting it back together in a manner that you are congruent and coherent with the universal principles, because at the very core you are energy, right? Next is affiliations or associations. We all have affiliations. This could be, oh, I went to this university, or I know the prime minister of this country, or I know the chief superintendent of police, associations, affiliations, or I am in so and so's daughter, I'm Mrs. so and so, or the list goes on. Affiliations. Now again, this should be a layer that identifies you in congruence with the universal principle that comes from the fact that you are energy. And the basic thing here is, of course, truth and honesty. Okay, no manipulation, no abuse, for example. Yeah, corruption happens because of this, favoritism happens because of this association, and all of this is antagonistic to the universal principle that stems from the fact that you are energy. And whenever you operate at any of these layers in a manner that's antagonistic to the universal principle, then you bring upon yourself outcomes that undermine your unlimited potential as energy. Next, we come to physical characteristics. Now this one is easy to talk about. This is your physical body, your person, and of course weight, height, skin color, and all of those things. And again, in order for you to maximize your potential as energy, again, your physical self has to be in a good, healthy condition, exercise, eating right, no abuse of substances. All of this is being congruent with your energy. So it's a very interesting discussion here with regard to substance abuse and energy, which we will do in another video, right? Skills and knowledge, again, we as energy bodies, we have to continue to grow. There's no limit to the knowledge and skills we need to acquire. So we have to keep reading, keep learning. We have to be humble. We must avoid the phrase I know, because I know is the enemy of growth, right? Next, personality. Personality is largely your emotions over time, emotions and attitudes, and that comes across as consistent behavior. So your personality is basically how you appear to be to others consistently over time, and this comes about as a result of certain attitudes and certain emotions that you feel consistently, right? So people see you. It's how you appear to be. Character, on the other hand, is guided by your beliefs, moral values, ethics, and it's your true self, who you are, right? One is how you appear to be. Two is what you actually are. So there's a saying that a person's true character emerges when they are under duress, right? So that's the difference between character and personality. Okay, so usually when we want to understand someone's character, we need to observe them over a longer period of time. And beyond character, and what drives character, and character actually drives your personality. It's better if your character drives your personality instead of having a very pretentious personality just to be popular or liked. And beyond character, there's beliefs. Okay, beliefs is sort of the intersection between the physical self and the energy, right? So one part of beliefs could be many things, yeah, and you could have beliefs about many things, but an important component of beliefs is mindset. One type of belief is mindset. I hope this video has been useful. As a parting word, I would like to leave you with this: character is the key to changing all the outer layers of your person, of your identity as matter, and character can only be manipulated at energy level, because character is a derivative of one particular type of belief, which is your mindset. So in the next video, we will look at how to manipulate character by changing